Imagine being asked to build a wall so long it could stretch from New York to Los Angeles and back 4 times. No machines, no cranes, no trucks, just your bare hands, some basic tools, and a mountain in front of you. That's exactly what millions of ordinary people faced when they were called to build the Great Wall of China. But here's what almost nobody tells you. The wall you see in photos today? It almost didn't survive, and the way it was actually built will completely change how you see it forever. Stay with me, because this is one of the most incredible construction stories in all of human history. To understand how the Great Wall was built, we first have to understand why. Over 2,000 years ago, China was made up of many different kingdoms, and they all had one terrifying problem. Fierce nomadic warriors from the north kept raiding their villages, stealing food, and destroying everything in their path. So the rulers of these kingdoms made a bold decision. They would build walls, massive stone and earth barriers, along the northern borders to keep the raiders out. And slowly, over hundreds of years, those separate walls would eventually be connected into one colossal structure. But connecting them meant solving a puzzle that had never been solved before. The story really explodes when a powerful emperor named Qin Shi Huang, the very first emperor to unify all of China, decided around 221 BC that the existing walls weren't good enough. He wanted one single, massive, connected wall stretching across the entire northern edge of his empire. And he had the power to make it happen. He ordered hundreds of thousands of workers, soldiers, farmers, prisoners, and everyday citizens to drop everything and march north. Some traveled for weeks just to reach the construction site. Many had never left their home village before. Can you imagine being pulled away from your family to build something so enormous you couldn't even see where it ended? Now here's where things get really fascinating. The materials used to build the wall changed depending entirely on where they were building it. In the flat desert regions, workers packed layers of earth, sand, and gravel tightly together, a technique called rammed earth. They'd pour a layer, pound it down with heavy wooden poles until it was rock solid. Then pour another layer on top, over and over again. In the Rocky Mountain regions, they cut massive stone blocks right from the cliffs nearby and stacked them with incredible precision. And in some areas, workers even made their own bricks on site, firing clay in temporary kilns they built right there on the mountainside. Every single section of this wall was essentially a different engineering challenge. But the hardest part? Getting all those materials up the mountain with no trucks, no helicopters, and no conveyor belts. Getting heavy stones and bricks up steep mountain cliffs was one of the greatest logistical challenges of the ancient world. Workers formed giant human chains, hundreds of people in a line, passing materials from person to person all the way up the slope. In some places, they built wooden ramps and used ropes and pulleys to haul massive stones upward. Goats were reportedly used in some sections because they could navigate the narrow mountain paths that humans could barely climb. And get this, historians believe it could take an entire day of hard labor just to move one large stone block up a single steep section of mountain. Think about that the next time you see a photo of the wall stretching across miles of jagged peaks. Here's something that most people never learn in school. One of the key ingredients that made the Great Wall so incredibly strong, especially the sections built during the Ming Dynasty, which is the beautiful wall you see in most photos today, was a very unusual building material. Are you ready for this? Sticky rice. Yes, you heard that right. Ancient Chinese builders mixed boiled sticky rice soup into their mortar, the paste that holds the bricks together. Scientists have actually tested ancient sections of the wall and found this rice-based mortar is so hard and durable that in some places it's actually stronger than the bricks themselves. Plants growing nearby had their roots blocked by it, Modern buildings often crumble before this ancient rice mortar does. But if sticky rice was one secret ingredient, what was the other? The other secret was something deeply human. And honestly, heartbreaking. Historians and archaeologists have discovered that the Great Wall became the burial place for an enormous number of the workers who built it. When workers died from exhaustion, illness, or accidents on the remote mountain sections, there was often no way to bring their bodies home. So they were buried right there, inside and alongside the wall itself. Ancient records suggest that so many people died during construction that the Great Wall became known in China as the longest cemetery on Earth. Some estimates suggest that for every single mile of wall, multiple workers lost their lives. Every stone in that wall represents not just incredible engineering, but incredible human sacrifice. But this isn't the end of the story. Because the wall that exists today almost completely disappeared. Here's the final incredible twist: the Great Wall as we know it today. The dramatic, gorgeous, stone structure stretching across mountain peaks was almost entirely rebuilt during the Ming Dynasty, between 1368 and 1644 AD. Before that, huge sections of the original wall had crumbled, been buried, or simply faded into the landscape. The Ming emperors poured enormous resources into rebuilding and reinforcing the wall, adding the iconic watchtowers every few hundred meters so soldiers could signal danger across long distances using smoke signals by day and fire by night. Without the Ming Dynasty's massive rebuilding effort, there would be almost nothing left to see today. So the next time you look at a photo of the Great Wall and feel that sense of wonder, remember this: you're looking at over 2,000 years of human determination, sacrifice, and genius, all stacked together in stone. And that is truly extraordinary.